Are your mindset and habits positively or negatively impacting your success? On today's episode of the Real Talk podcast, we will talk about how simply adjusting your habits and your mindset can completely change your life. We'll also talk about how important it is to practice gratitude. And of course, like every other episode, we'll be doing a giveaway. Let's go! Yeah. All right, guys, so welcome back to the second episode of the Real Talk podcast. We're here with Nelson Cantu, and today we'll be talking about mindset and habits. So, I don't know, let's jump right in. How do you think mindset and habits really play a role in like your professional and your personal life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think your mindset and your daily habits have everything to do with your daily routines, with the amount of, or I should say, the level of success that you reach in your respective profession. I think more than anything, I'll use real estate as an example, right? So as in real estate, you really got to solidify certain habits, right? Like, you know, your morning routine, your lead generation habits, your presentations.
So pretty much
right?
Have a schedule in a sense.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you got to have the right mindset and you got to learn to reprogram the way that you think to be able to see things from a different perspective. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
So kind of going back to your question, I think in a sense over the past few years, I've had to learn how to really reprogram my mindset to be able to see things from like an abundance mentality mindset versus a scarcity mindset, right? And always coming from a place of contribution and a place of value.
Your mindset when you come into a job like this,
yeah.
I think whether it be lending, real estate, anything that's like I don't have an actual boss, but I got to show up to work. But I don't have to show up to work. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I think that's the best and the worst thing about these jobs. That like, if I want to, you know, for most people, if I want to drink tonight and get hammered and be hungover in the morning, and well, no one's going to get me in trouble for not showing up to the office, right? But that's also the worst thing that can happen because that if your mindset's not in the right place and you're not like, what you would say responsible, like you're going to be doing that every day because you know no one's going to tell you anything about it.
It's funny that you bring that up specifically because I remember when I was in the middle of the transition from going from my last job to my career in real estate, I remember thinking to myself very clearly, I remember thinking like, hell yeah, now I can go ahead, have a few beers on Sunday night and watch the football games, and I don't got to worry about, you know, waking up at X time and going to clock in.
And I think we all do it. Like, honestly, I mean, if we're being honest, like the first few months, maybe even your first year, it's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah. Like you go from a 9 to 5 because I think you did the same thing. And yours was more like 6 to 6. And I was working pretty good amount of hours as well. And like you go from like I clock in at the time they tell me, I get a lunch at the time they tell me, I clock out at the time they tell me. If they need me to stay overtime, you can't really say no.
Right.
And then you go to like I just woke up. No one's mad that I showed up an hour late to the office.
Yeah.
I took a 3-hour lunch with my friends or whatever. I want to have a drink. It's easy. Very, very easy to just like, who cares?
It's very easy, but what's easy isn't always what's best, right? So,
well, where's your business going to go with that?
Well, I'll tell you exactly where it's going to go, and I'll be very transparent, right? Because I know I've probably shared this story with you before, but my first year in real estate, I made about $15,000. It was I had a 6-figure job, right? I was in management, I was in the electrical trade, so and then I go the next 10 months, $15,000. So right, so now I'm starting to rethink my decision, right? So now I'm like, well, now the time, should I go back? But I was like, you know what? I told myself that I was going to do this. I committed to it. But going back to what you mentioned, so why did I only make $15,000 the first year? Because of the habits that I was adopting, right? I was probably drinking on Sunday nights, watching football games, right? I was going to sleep late. I was waking up at whatever time I wanted. I would go take those 3-hour lunches like you mentioned. Okay, and exactly what did that get me? Nothing that was very good.
$15,000.
Yeah. So at that point, I had to decide, right? And then of course with the help of a couple mentors, but I had to decide if I really wanted to make a career out of this and hopefully have some very high, I guess you can say, you know, monetary returns in this new career. I had to adopt some new habits, right? So I knew that waking up at whatever time I wanted, taking the 3-hour lunches, doing whatever I wanted wasn't going to work out. So what I did was I basically adopted the same schedule as when I had that job, right? So I went back to, I was already accustomed to waking up, say at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to go to be at work by say 6 o'clock, right? Because I had a long drive. So shortly after I learned, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to that. I got to make sure. And from reading these other books, I was like, well, I see like kind of a common trait in these personal development books. And that's that I got to have a strong morning routine.
Yeah.
So I told myself that I was going to start waking up at 4:30 again, start going to the gym in the morning again, right? And then if you guys haven't read it, by the way, and it's not, it doesn't matter what you do, but it's a book. It's called The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. But you can read it. It doesn't matter what you do, but it talks about having a strong morning routine and the effects and benefits that you're likely to have by implementing that strong morning routine.
I was just thinking that, like, I think it's hard, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I wake up at the time if I set my alarm at 5. I think all of us snooze it once or twice. At least
yeah, we're human.
But like, to be honest with you, when I don't go to the gym in the morning, and it's not even so much about the physical benefit. I mean, obviously we do it for that reason, right? But like, more than anything, when I go to the gym in the morning, like my whole day just lines up a lot better. Like, like I'm here at the office by like 8, and everything just works out how it should, you know?
Yeah. What I would say when trying to become a certain type of person, don't think about the long term or the end effect. Focus on what type of person you got to become to be able to become that person. So like for me, for example, as far as my career, right? I had to ask myself, what person do I got to become to earn the amount of money that I want to earn, right? Unfortunately, especially in today's society, I feel like there is more than one pandemic. The other one being complacency, right? People get to a certain status, a certain point, a certain place in their life, and they're like, you know what? I'm making X amount of money. I drive a nice car. I have a nice house. I got my family. I'm good, right? So a couple of the things that I think you can't really teach to people, at least in my opinion, is you can't teach ambition and you can't teach hard work ethic, right? But when you have that, or if you, and I'm not saying you can't develop it, right? Because definitely. A lot of the times you can develop a lot of things. Obviously, I can't develop being able to slam dunk a basketball, right? Just because I don't have the physical ability. But we all have, you know, if you're in your right sane mind, you can develop a lot of these traits and habits to be able to put you on a different trajectory.
Our mind, our brain is capable of almost anything.
If there's somebody out there that's doing something that you want to do, or maybe you want to do more, but they're at a level to where like you're like, man, I got to get to that level before I get to the next level. Reach out to them. See if they're willing to mentor you. See if they're willing to answer some questions, right?
And obviously, some of them are going to kick you to the curb and be like, dude, I'm too busy for you. But a lot of them probably won't. Like, successful people, like real successful people, want to see other people succeed.
Yeah,
like you have
just like leaders want to breed more leaders.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So for the most part, and I've met a lot of people, you know, that are doing whatever they do at a very high level, and they're very wealthy, and you know, so on and so forth. And to be honest with you, these are the people that you would never even imagine. These are the people that are the most welcoming. These are the people that are willing to answer any question that you got, and they're willing to give you the guidance. You know what I'm saying? And because they've already been through there, they're able to tell you, okay, or you're able to explain to them, this is where I am right now. What should I do? And then they can kind of, you know, go back in the time of their lives and be like, you know what, I was there, and this is what I did that did or didn't work. One of the common things that I've noticed amongst entrepreneurs that are doing what they do at a very high level and that are very successful and that have been doing it for a long time is that they've all told me, or I've heard or read, is that they performed at a very high level for at least 10 years, dude. 10 years before they even started to pay themselves like a pretty high salary, or before they went and bought themselves, say, the BMW or the Mercedes or whatever the case is. You see what I'm saying? But people don't have the patience to be able to do that nowadays, which is why they go, you know, they do something for a year or 2 years, they didn't like it. And then guess what? The shiny penny syndrome kicks in. Now they go do something else. They do it for another year or two. Now they don't get the results that, you know, they don't become millionaires. And then it's a cycle, dude. It's a cycle. And then they do the same thing over and over again.
And on that topic too, it doesn't mean that like you should work your ass off and for like, you know, the delayed gratification, like it doesn't mean work your ass off and don't treat yourself. Like, you still need to treat yourself, but do it accordingly. Do it like responsibly, you know, like,
of course,
you know, a rule of thumb that I always have is if I can't buy it twice, I can't buy it.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, it's simply what it is. If you can't buy it 2 times, you shouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to buy a TV and it's $1,500, if you don't have at least $3,000, like, for that though, don't think like $3,000 in general. I mean, like If I can't buy it twice without it impacting
Yeah.
my savings or whatever,
Yeah.
you shouldn't buy it.
So nowadays, again, going back to the whole social media thing, which by the way, I think social media is a great tool.
It's the best and worst thing that's
It's
ever
a great
happened.
it's a great tool, but it depends. I was having a conversation with my team earlier. We had a team meeting today, and our marketing coordinator sat in on it with us. So she was kind of giving us some training on social media, yada yada yada, right? So one of the things that I ended the meeting with was that one of the things that really resonated with me probably about a year ago was something that somebody told me, and they told me this regarding social media. They told me, you got to choose what side of the screen you're on. Either you're the entertainer or you're the entertainee, right? So on one end, you're probably monetizing social media, or on the other end, you're either wasting your time or watching watching all these other people that have the Louis Vuittons and have the nice cars, and you're probably just going into debt more and more. Right. So at the end of the day, kind of going or kind of backpedaling a little bit, it's, we have a false sense of, I guess you can say, of what life is really like and what reality is like, because a lot of these people that really, they're probably up to their, neck in credit card debt,
their ass.
but you see them with the Louis Vuitton bags, or you see them with the brand new cars and the brand new trucks. So now everybody is, I think that saying, keeping up with the Joneses, has never been truer, dude, as it is right now, because everybody's trying to keep up with that certain image at whatever cost, right? And right now, most people are lucky that we're in a good market, and that's something that I didn't plan on bringing up, but it's having financial literacy, right? That's something that's very important, especially when you're self-employed and when you're an entrepreneur, is making sure that you're financially educated, right? So going back to investing 30 minutes a day and educating yourself. One of the most important things that I think people should invest their time in and educating themselves in is financial literacy, right? Because like you said, people go from, say, a job making, let's say, I don't know, 40 grand a year. Next thing you know, they make 20 grand in 1 month. They don't know how to act anymore.
I know,
right?
of course.
They go to Vegas.
I went to Vegas.
They buy five $3,000 bags.
I'm guilty, and I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be honest.
Because you didn't know any better.
No, I didn't. I went to Vegas. I went to Vegas. I gambled my life away. Luckily, I didn't lose much. I was actually winning. I ended up even. But I spent a bunch of money on designer stuff that now sits in my closet. Like, I wear it once in a while. And I feel good that I got it, right? Because I didn't go broke doing it. Like, luckily, I didn't spend all of it, whatever. But what I'm saying is that, like, we get those checks now more often than not, or whatever. And you don't do the same with them no more. Now, like, ask me what I do with the same checks now. I find it somewhere to invest.
Yeah.
Like, invest it somewhere.
Or at least knowing how to allocate those funds into different accounts.
But the first time it goes, I mean, you can't blame someone for it, though.
No.
Like, you can't really,
especially when you're young.
You can't shame someone. Like, be like, oh, he's a dumbass. He finally gets paid and he want to go buy himself a chain. Like, let him get it out the way, but let it be that. Get it the hell out the way, and now put the blinders on.
If nothing else, out of this entire conversation, one of the things that I've learned the most, that I think anybody should like take a page out of this book, is learning how to delay gratification, dude. I'm telling you, like, I've seen so many people that, they do, or they're in their respective industry for, say, 2 years, and then all of a sudden they go out crazy buying the nice house, the nice cars, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm telling you, and that's why I give the example of this common trait that I've noticed among very successful people, is that they don't start doing all that stuff until they've been putting in 10 years, dude, of hard work, right? Not 10 years of, you know what, yeah, I did average, I did okay, now I'm going to treat myself. This is 10 years of hard work and not performing at a very high level. So if nothing else, and I say this because I fall victim to this even myself sometimes. Like, I'll even be honest with you. Like, even recently I was thinking about making a purchase, and I was like, and I looked into it probably for a month, dude. And I was like, you know what? Does this fit within my goals? Does this fit within what I preach to my team? Right? And I was like, you know what? It doesn't.
At the same time,
I cut it off, dude. I cut that idea off because I knew that by me doing that, I wasn't delaying the gratification, and it wasn't time for that purchase.
The thing is, too, that like we go back to the same thing. Of course, I agree with that, delayed gratification. But at the same time, like, live. Like, what did you say earlier? You said something like, within the time. Like, let's just say, and again, this isn't like personally. I'm not talking about you. Yeah. I'm talking about me. I'm saying, like, let's say your first year in any kind of business, you make 100 grand. The next year you make 2. The next year you make 3.
Yeah.
The next year you make 4. The next year you make 5. It doesn't happen like that. But what I'm saying is that if in 5 years you're 5xing the income you made on your first year of business, it's all right to like change what the gratification in a sense is, right? So
I see what you're saying.
Like right now, if I want to buy myself a car, truthfully, I'm not gonna go get myself a $150,000
Right,
car,
yeah.
right? But when you're making $500,000, you can buy yourself that $150,000 car and be all right. Like still, the light at the end
Okay.
still looks way brighter. You know what I mean?
agree.
Like,
I agree 100% with what you're saying. Now here's my only asterisk on that, on what you're saying, or my only input on this is, yes, go ahead and treat yourself to that. Only if you've adopted the right habits. Only if you've implemented the systems. Only if
To keep
you know
generating that
that
income.
this is predictable.
Yeah.
Because if you're making $300,000 a year, 3 or 4 years consecutively, don't confuse that with the fact that maybe you're riding a good market.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Our markets, our economy, it's cyclical. Okay, how can you maintain that lifestyle and that way of living
In a different market.
even in a down market, right? That's why right now it's so popular to become a real estate agent. And hey, and this is me, like, and I encourage people, become a real estate agent as long as you're adopting the right habits, the right systems, the right processes, and you're really solidifying a system and solidifying a business, right? But if you see somebody, because somebody got in it 2 years ago, and now they bought a nice car, they bought a nice house, they want to do it too. You don't know how they did it. Did they build that house out of sticks?
Yeah.
Or did they really solidify it brick by brick? That's the biggest difference, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and like I told you, I totally like, I applaud the people that are doing it and they're patting themselves on the back and rewarding themselves. But if you're doing it the right way, there's one thing that we can't escape, and it's the test of time, right? How can you prove to yourself that you can do this for 3, 4, 5 years in a row and know, hey, I have the systems in place, I have the mindset in place, and I have the habits in place to make sure that I can do this over and over again in any market.
Yep.
Right.
So I guess we'll wrap it up with give us like a day in your life, like you're saying, like in regards to like mindset and habits is what we're talking about. So like, for one, what made you realize you needed a shift? Like,
so going back to the first part of your question being, how did I realize that I had a goal set, I had to say have a vision board, have a strong morning routine. For me it was simple, right? And I talked about it earlier. I mentioned something along the lines of, finding those people in your life, or even if they're not in your life, finding people that are doing, or that something that you want to do, or people that are successful at a certain level, right? Or people that are excelling at what they're doing. So that was one of the common traits that I noticed. These people set goals, right? And not just writing down, hey, I want to make $100,000 this year, right? You got to set that goal and break it all the way down. You got to reverse engineer it.
Take the money out of it. And if there's one thing that I can advise, forget about the money. Just completely forget about it.
Yeah.
Focus on, let's just say...
The income is a byproduct to the amount of service that you're and value that you provide.
Let's say you're a real estate agent. Forget about the money. Forget about it all. I want to help 35 families this year. If I make $1,000 per transaction, so be it. If I make $10,000 per whatever it is, doesn't matter.
So for me, very, very, very early on in my career, I started diving into coaching, right, and mentorship. So, like I said, and from me talking to people that were already successful at a certain level, or listening to podcasts, reading books, these are all common traits that successful people do, or I should say things that successful people do, right? They set goals, right? They set a goal of helping 50 families a year, which is my goal for this year, right? Helping 50 families.
I'll bet you that if you focus on that, you'll make a lot more money than you focus on 100,000.
And then what you do is you reverse engineer it all the way down to, what do I have to do today?
How many calls do I have to make today?
How many contacts? How many people can I provide value to today to be able to make sure that I'm hitting my weekly goals, therefore hitting my monthly goals, so on
Quarterly
and so forth. So for me, it's I'm big on personal development, and we can sit here and as it, like say use my team as an example. I can sit here and train them on lead conversion, what to say, how to say it all day long. But if they don't have the right mindset, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless. You got to make sure that you reprogram yourself to where you're thinking out of abundance and not scarcity. Okay. And what does that mean? A lot of people, if they don't see themselves gaining benefit or gaining some kind of advantage out of a certain situation, they're not willing to provide any value or offer a resource towards that person or situation. Right. So for me, it was diving deep on personal development, goal setting, making sure that I had a coach myself, which I have 2 of them, right? I have 2. I have a business coach and a strict real estate coach, right? So making sure that you always have a coach and making sure that those coaches have coaches, right? I don't foresee myself ever not having a coach, to be honest with you, even when I'm maybe 75 years old, if God allows me to get to that point. Yeah. But going back to the daily schedule and morning routine. So like I mentioned the Miracle Morning book. So like I mentioned, I think everybody should read that book. It's a great book. So that book more or less talks about the habits. Remember the habits that you got to implement. Not so much like becoming a certain type of person, but the habits that it takes to become that certain type of person. So for me, this is what my day normally looks like. So I wake up at 4:30. I'm at the gym by 5. Normally back home by like 6:15.
So when we were going to the gym at 5, how come you were showing up to like 5:15 or 5:20?
That was, what was that? Say it again.
Why were you showing up at 5:15 or 5:20?
That was post-COVID syndrome. Post-COVID syndrome. So I get home normally around 6:15. Sometimes I'll play with the kids, get them ready for school. I'll get ready. Most of the time I'm at the office anywhere between 7:45, 8 o'clock. And then from there, I'll really start like my morning routine, which consists of reading at least half an hour, right? And it could be a personal development book. It could be a business book. It could be a book on finance. Just something to educate yourself, right? Something to make you 1% better that day, right? And then after that, another big thing, man, that I didn't touch on a lot, but it's very, very underrated, is writing down your gratitudes every single day.
No, yeah,
every
100%.
single day. I write my gratitudes and my affirmations down every single day, man.
Well, this went a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah.
But it's a really good topic, and that is definitely something we really should have touched on.
So my gratitudes and affirmations, man, every day. As corny as it seems, man, I always, one of my coaches always tells me success is corny, right? So if I want to attract it, sometimes you got to be a little bit corny. But when you start to see the fruits of the labor or the results of the things that you've been doing for a long period of time, you're like, man, like you said, this shit works, dude. Yeah. Maybe I should do it more often or do more of it, or maybe even inspire somebody else to do it. So then, and basically after that, that's basically my morning, dude, from like 8 to 9 o'clock. And then after that,
have you ever tried? Sorry to cut you off. Have you ever tried?
That was rude, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's my show.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, so have you ever tried, or what do you think of this? Of when you practice gratitude, don't just say it to yourself or to God or whoever you're thanking. Have you ever tried like let's just say, hey, I'm grateful that my family is healthy. Like telling it to a friend. Like
absolutely.
Because I feel like we practice this once a week, and which I practice it probably a lot less than I should myself. But we practice it as a team once a week, and I feel like during that session, even if you don't say a word, like listening to what other people are grateful for, helps you understand that you're taking a lot of shit for granted. I don't know. I feel like if you're not practicing gratitude, start with yourself. Start with yourself, and like you said, it's corny and it's dumb as you want to call it. Just talk to yourself. Yeah. Look yourself in the mirror. Face the mirror, and just like. I'm alive, because there's many people who wish they were in your position.
Yeah, how many people wish that take, or how many people take life for granted? How many people take something as simple as the full functionality of their body for granted, right? So going back to that, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's God or the universe, you got to make sure that you're speaking your gratitudes out into existence, right? That's the only way that you're going to get more of that in abundance. Right? And the same thing with your manifestations, dude. I'm telling you, like, I have a manifestation journal that I write in every morning. And it's almost like everything that I'm putting down on the manifestation journal, it comes, dude. It comes, whether it be tomorrow or a year from now. But because you're aligning your subconscious with it, sooner or later, you're bound to see it reveal itself.
A lot of people are probably going to be watching this and say, I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah. No.
Trust me, we're never, ever too busy. I mean, we're busy, right?
Of course.
But like, if you'd legit, and I started doing this recently, but you guys won't really notice, but like, I switched offices. What I started doing recently was, like, before I switched here, was I walked in my office, and once I said, give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. Yeah. I'll be right out, and then
you should incorporate my strategy.
I said, I'm all open. I'm all ears. I'm here to help. Yeah. But give me 30 minutes to get my shit together this morning. Because what does your email look like in the morning?
Yeah, it's bombarded.
So exactly. Yeah. So, like, let me get that down. Now, I haven't practiced getting here 30 minutes earlier to practice gratitude and read some pages of a book, which I need to start. But, like, simply me doing that every morning, like, wait the hell up. Let me get my shit together, and then you can come in and we'll talk. Doing that, it helped my days go so much more productive, because now all the urgent stuff got taken care of. So now I can unattend my email for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
While I attend a different topic.
Yeah.
But you were gonna say.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. So on my door, on my desk, on the back of it, I have it taped on the door, and there's a piece of paper that says something like, it says stop time blocking session going down. Like if it's urgent or important or something like that, email me or text me, and we'll figure that shit out later or something like that. So dude, so even something like that, people walk up, oh damn, like that means don't bug him, right?
Yeah.
He's doing something important.
You're telling him wait in a polite way.
Yeah. So and you know, kind of just going back and just to kind of wrap this whole conversation up, because I know we're kind of running short on time. What got you here won't get you to your goals, right? So if you think, you know, writing your gratitudes down every day is corny, that's cool, and maybe you've never done it, but until you start to incorporate some different shit in your life, then you're going to start to see some different results.
It's one of two things is always going to happen when you do things outside of your comfort zone. It's either going to work or you're going to give up. Mm-hmm. Listen to that again. It's either going to work or you're going to give up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't not work.
Yeah,
it
Yours
works.
Just didn't work.
It works. You just gave up.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's very hard. And I tell agents, I have friends come to me and tell me, hey, what do you think? Like, I want to become an agent, or I want to become a lender, or I want to do sales, I want to do, commission based. I said, dude, it's great. Mm-hmm. And you'll make a lot of money someday. I don't make a lot of money, but I know it's there.
Yeah.
Like I know that if I help 40 families this year, and 45 next year, and 50 the year after that, the money will line up, dude. And before you know it, you will have investments, and you have this, and you have that. Because in these kind of jobs, you need to hang out with people that are better than you.
You need to be very careful with your time.
If you're the best person in the room, get the hell out.
Yeah.
If you're the most successful person in the room, go to a different fucking room.
And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're trying to inspire somebody. But for the most part, you need to be hanging around with people that are doing things.
And when I say that, I don't mean get out and like fuck you guys.
No, I see what you're saying.
It's like get out, go to a better room, and then bring these guys with you.
Of course. Yeah.
And then when you're the best in that room again, get the hell out and bring these guys with you, because sometimes you're the leader.
It's going to be hard either way. So you got to choose your hard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard being broke, and it's hard being successful at whatever it is that you decide to do.
So I guess we kind of went off topic a lot of times, and this is a lot longer than.
Oh, that was good.
It was a lot longer than we anticipated.
And hopefully you guys are getting inspired by some of the things that we're talking about, and hopefully inspired to make a change or start to implement maybe a morning routine or start to change up some habits.
So I'm going to make this as uncomfortable as you want it to get. What are you going to give away?
What am I going to give away?
Yeah. I told everybody that everyone's giving shit away, so what are you giving away?
Okay, so what is it that you gave away on your last...
I gave away... Well, actually, Jose gave away a pair of Dodger tickets in the last episode.
Okay.
But then when I went on the news yesterday, I added another 2. Okay. So we're giving a total of 2 pairs. So 4 tickets, but 2 of them go together and 2 go together.
Can I enter the drawing?
No. But you can buy me tickets to go to the game.
All right, well, why don't we do this? I know there's a ton of Dodger fans here in Bakersfield, and to kind of keep it on the same...
Unfortunately.
Get out of here. But to kind of keep it along the same, or to kind of keep the good momentum going, as I should say, why don't we give away a Dodgers jersey?
Dodgers jersey? Oh, I know which one it could be.
Which one? Freddie Freeman?
No. You should give away your Mookie Betts jersey.
Oh, shit. Hell no.
What? Are you crazy? All right, so let's do that. Let's do that.
But yeah,
how do you want to give it away? You want to have people share the thing? I mean, no matter what giveaway we do, guys and girls, they're always going to be announced on the podcast. So if you're not watching, you're not going to know who won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why don't we just keep it the same? Why don't you just go ahead and like Edgar's channel, like it, share it, subscribe. Then if you're watching this, or if you're on social media, make sure that you're sharing this, right? Make sure that you're sharing it on your story. How'd you do it before?
I think this is what we'll do. I don't know what you think of this idea. So I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna make a 1-minute video of this, and I'll post it on the reels.
Okay.
Everyone who shares it and tags us, tag me, because if you don't tag me, I won't be able to see it. Okay. And don't tag me. Tag the podcast page, and it's the Real Talk PCast. Make sure to tag that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Share it. Every single person who shares it will get a ticket to the raffle.
Okay.
And
cool.
And we'll raffle it off on next week's episode.
Okay.
Or we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. So make sure that they tag me on their story as well.
Okay. So tag Nelson and tag.
Yeah. No, that way I can see it and I'm able to.
What's your Instagram? We'll put it. It's going to be here at the bottom.
Yeah. At I am Nelson Cantu.
Okay. I am Nelson Cantu and the Real Talk PCast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tag us both on the post that I'm a So there's gonna be like a 1 minute recap of this video.
Okay.
Share that.
Yeah.
Tag us both. You'll enter the raffle and you'll get a free signed Mookie Betts jersey.
No, it's not gonna be signed. It could probably be a Mookie's Betts jersey, but it ain't gonna be autographed. I'll autograph it for you. How's that?
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and do this giveaway. So something to keep in mind, there's going to be 3 names pulled. Those 3 will be non-winners. The 4th ticket will be the winner, and we're going to do that 2 times since there's 2 pairs of Dodger tickets. So remember, 3 non-winners, 4th ticket is the winner. You must reach out to me and let me know that you saw that you are the winner. If you don't reach out to me by Sunday, then we're going to go ahead and redo this raffle. I'm not going to tag you until after you reach out to me because the point is for you to watch the podcast, right? So let's go ahead and do this. I wasn't too prepared with the jar, so I had to use somebody's flower base, but let's go ahead and do this. All the names are in here. If you reached out after the Studio 17 or after watching last week's podcast, you have 5 tickets in here. If not, then you have as many as you commented, okay? So let's go ahead. This is the first non-winner. I'm not looking, so you guys don't think I'm rigging this. The first non-winner is Rulis MC. Rulis, you are the first non-winner, okay? Let's do this fast. Let's go ahead. All right, second non-winner is Rulis MC. Rulis, you're not meant to win, man. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. The third non-winner is D. Quintanilla. D. Quintanilla, you are the third non-winner. So here is the winner of the first pair of Dodger tickets. And the winner is Yoscal 15. So Yoscal 15, you are the first winner of the first pair of Dodger tickets. Now let's go ahead and do this all over again for the second pair of Dodger tickets. And first non-winner is M. Miguel _ Perez. M. Miguel Perez, you are the first non-winner. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. The second non-winner is Andrea Aceves. Andrea Aceves, you are the second non-winner. One more non-winner, and then we go with the winner, okay? So the third non-winner is, it's Hector. That's what you get for not going to the gym with me. It's Hector. You are the third non-winner. So the second winner, the winner of the second pair of Dodger tickets is Eddie Gomez. Eddie Gomez, you get the second pair of Dodger tickets. All right. Good luck next time, everybody.